Oh, hello, it is I, your boy Gomi, and we are back discussing UFC 299 in Miami. A night of knockouts, a night of good fights, a night of beatdowns, a night of just, oh man, this was a good card. I can actually be happy. I also would like to open this up saying, can we please go to Miami more? Because my favorite fighters are 2-0 in Miami with spectacular round 2 knockouts in fights that they were heavily counted out on. Oh man, oh that was great. But regardless, let's break down this card, get into it because it's so goddamn late for me. Yes, first fight of the night was my lock of the night, Mariana Moraes versus Joanne Wood. Moraes was doing very good in that fight. She was definitely winning, I'd say, a majority of the fight, but what sealed the deal was just Joanne Wood landing that spinning back fist and then landing some more solid shots while she was wobbled, stumbling around the cage, and that was all it needed for Joanne Wood to get the win in her retirement fight. Normally, people in fights so that they're retiring or say they retired, normally when that happens, they kind of lose, they kind of get their ass beat, but not in this fight. Joanne Wood went out on a win. Good for her. Not good for me, but good for her. Then Chito vera versus Alabev, another fight that did not go my way because I had Alabev finishing him either knockout or submission, but I was surprised. Vergara was tanky. He was too durable. He survived. Alabev definitely won each round. He was landing better shots. He was landing more takedowns, landing 9 out of 14 takedowns, and he was just a more active and busier fighter. And yeah, beat him by a very simple decision. Bellis Despigny versus Josh Perisian. Jesus Christ. Well, the fight went how it's supposed to. I said either this fight is going to go how it should, which is a quick knockout, approximately 18 seconds. So it did do that. Or is going to be Perisian laying on him and fraud checking him. There was no fraud check. He got knocked out. And on the back foot after a slip from a kick, Robellis landed 3 out of his 4 shots on the back foot. Completely off balance. And one finally knocked out the trash can. That's Josh Perisian. Michel Pereira versus Mihail Oleksiejczuk. Michel Pereira just came out like a bat out of hell, absolutely decimating him. Those like I was talking about Mihail's, I was talking about his body work. Nope, Michel Pereira had the better body work, those body kicks, and then finally, after stumbling him with a vicious body shot, he then got the rear naked choke and submitted him. Not really much to it. That was a minute and 1 second. Jesus Christ. Mihail landed 1 shot. Another fight that didn't go my way. I actually did very bad this night. But regardless, Ian Cutelaba taking on Felipe Lins. Felipe Lins pretty much did a good job of extending the fight. Cutelaba was very hyper aggressive as he normally is, coming in, trashing in with exchanges, landing hooks and big swinging hooks, while Felipe Lins just did a good job of extending it, getting him up against the fence a lot of times, and landing some pot shots and getting away from his power shots. It was a very smart fight overall by Felipe Lins. Not the most of exciting, but this is honestly how it's all coming. I saw Cutelaba being a little bit more hyper aggressive and potentially getting knocked out, or overwhelming Felipe Lins, which he had a few moments. He landed some good shots, but overall, it was just more smarter fighting from Felipe Lins, which allowed him to get the decision win. Next, a fight I didn't expect going like this. Phillips wins the decision against Pedro Munoz. Even though I had Phillips winning the fight, I really thought Pedro Munoz would have more pop. I thought he'd be in the fight more, but Phillips put it on him. 115 strikes landed to a measly 52 from Pedro Munoz. Munoz was just not doing that well overall in the fight. And Phillips, he was sort of entering the matrix. He was just landing shot after shot. He was landing some really good shots. He missed those spinning heel hook kicks. If those landed, ooh man, he could have knocked them down. Pedro Munoz just didn't really have much answers to it. He normally goes for more of a leg kicking game, but he really was not on the leg kicks. Phillips was landing more leg kicks, and he just overall pieced them apart. I feel it's just age. Pedro Munoz is old. He's had too many wars, and even though he's never been finished, he's still taking a lot of beatings. He's been getting his ass beat pretty consistently. So, yeah, Phillips entered the matrix and beat out Pedro Munoz. Next, My boy Mateusz Gamrot got the W, exactly how I predicted. Was it an exciting fight? Hell no. But overall, Lipowski got it done exactly how I said it would. I don't know what people were thinking with this. I saw a lot of people thinking RDA was going to submit Mateusz Gamrot. You're not submitting Gamrot. You're going to beat him in a decision, or you might knock him out. I've seen him. He could be a little chinny. Well, I want to say that, but he took that massive shot from Beneil Dariush and he survived it. Regardless, he just out-wrestled RDA. RDA had some nice scrambles, some nice moments. They landed some decent shots, but just Mateusz Gamrot was busier, landing 111 strikes to RDA's measly 39, and he landed 11 out of 19 takedowns, putting a massive pace and pressure on him, just getting him down to the mat, wrestling him out. There's nothing RDA really had for Mateusz Gamrot because he's old. He's old. He's 39 years old. He's always struggled with really solid grapplers. You look back at his fights, he got out grappled by Vicente Luque, which told me right away that's not going to be going RDA's way. But RDA got out grappled by Michael Chiesa. He got out grappled by Leon Edwards, out grappled by Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman. He always gets Khabib Nurmagomedov. He just struggles against grapplers. Simple as that. He's really good against strikers, but that's about it. And then Caitlyn Chukagian against Maycee Barber. Why was this above Gamrot RDA? I get it. People are not high on Gamrot because he's boring, but it was a far better fight than this. Maycee Barber was landing some good shots. She was definitely very strong in the clinch. Caitlyn Chukagian had a really good second round, but that was just about it. She just was a bully. She was a bruiser. She was a brawler, and she was brawling. The only problem is she just didn't have power. Maycee Barber landed some beautiful check hooks that, like, if it was someone with power, would have floored anybody, but it didn't. And Caitlyn Chukagian, yeah, she's tough, but like those were flush. They were perfect. It's just simply Maycee Barber has pillow hands. She puts up a good pressure. She's very active, which is good. But unless you're landing some very vicious elbows, you're not gonna get much on someone in terms of knockout. So Maycee Barber won decision, dominant decision. Curtis Blades knocks out Jailton Almeida in round 2. Lovely. Yep, Jailton Almeida just showed his striking, just not there. His takedowns were just too simplistic. He was absolutely taking down Curtis Blades at will. I said it, like, we're gonna see Curtis Blades on his back, and just if Jailton Almeida had better ground and pound, he could have got him out in the first round. He was just focusing exclusively on the submission when he probably could have just been landing elbows on him. Got 9 out of 13 takedowns, was treating him like a child out there, but it took one bad shot where he was desperately holding onto the leg. He should have disengaged from it, and Blades was just landing hammer shots, and he got the knockout. And I see so many people saying, "Oh, thank you, Blades. Thank you, Blades." You guys are just short. Like you guys don't know the past. Jailton Almeida had one submission in his goddamn career of wins, and it was one decision, and it was a boring fight. Other than that, he was a finishing king. Meanwhile, y'all never sat through Curtis Blades' fight. Y'all never sat through the snooze fest that Curtis Blades had. That's why I'm not a huge fan of him. The Hunt fight, y'all remember that? The Daniel Olimibla fight, y'all remember that? Justin Willis, like, nah, I'm sorry, nah, I'm not on the Curtis Blades train. I never will. He called out Tom Aspinall. That is a fight I love to see, because I'd love to see Tom Aspinall correct that wrong. Now we're on to the main event, the main card. This was a very solid fight, a very technical matchup between Song Yadong and Petr Yan. Petr Yan won the decision against Song Yadong somewhat narrowly. It was a pretty good fight. The main problem Song Yadong had is he just let Petr Yan download data. How do you beat Petr Yan? You rush him. You give him no time. Petr Yan had PTSD from Rob's takedowns. Every simple shot from Song Yadong, who's not a really good wrestler, and Petr Yan was biting on that. He just needed to feint more, land more knees. Every time Petr Yan would try a sprawl, he just drop himself down there. Perfectly timed knee would have landed more damage. Song Yadong was landing some really good shots on Petr Yan, But then Perisian downloaded the data, landed more combos, was landing more shots. Those uppercuts down the middle were money. The body shots were money. And eventually, Song Yadong, he sealed round 2 and 3 because he got that really good takedown and those really good cuts that sealed him that round. Solid fight. Jack Della Maddalena versus Gilbert Burns. Jack Della Maddalena got the 3rd round knockout. Like I said, I called it. Gilbert Burns was tough. He was very durable. He's tough. He's taking body shots. He's taking head shots. And he was landing good shots. He landed not a lot, 31 strikes, 85. But he landed 2 great shots that really hurt Jack Della Maddalena. But Maddalena's just so tough. He's poor submission defense and going for gillies, much like Dustin Poirier, showed its ugly head. And I didn't like that, but eventually, all it took was him to get up from one of those takedowns and perfectly time that knee right down the middle. Burns ran right into a full force, and it took a bunch of elbows, but he got him out there. Big Dan clearly wanted Gilbert Burns to win by decision, or he wanted him dead. But yes, Gilbert Burns was winning that fight overall. Doesn't make much sense to me, I guess, because of the takedowns. He has 7 takedowns and he landed good shots with the takedowns, because Jack Della Maddalena landed more than double the amount of strikes than him. But yeah, that makes sense. But eventually JDM got the finish. Another knockout. Woo! JDM, he's gonna go places. Calling out Shavkat Rakhmonov too, that's gonna be an insane fight. That's a great fight that I kind of don't want them to see this early in their careers, but that would be a banger of a fight. Kevin Holland, he lost twice in this fight. He lost to Michael Venom Page and Kevin Holland. I gotta say, I was very impressed with Michael Venom Page. He also had a lot of the same issues and criticism I have about him, as he showboats too much. He also has very low output, landing 59 strikes, landing less strikes than Kevin Holland, but he was too quick, he was too fast, and he was too unorthodox. Kevin Holland just had 0 answers for the crafty veteran with the Taekwondo style, which Kevin Holland has proven to struggle against. That karate blitz style he struggled against with Wonder Boy. But I gotta say, Wonder Boy versus MVP would be such a good fight. MVP made a pretty good debut. It could have been better because he probably could have finished Kevin Holland, to be honest with you, but he wanted to showboat. He was definitely, though, in control and dominant throughout the entirety fight, except for one moment where he slipped on, but Kevin Holland just couldn't capitalize on it. Kevin Holland kept going for body lock takedowns or takedowns in the clinch when he should have been going for single legs more. By the time he finally went for single legs, it was too late and he wasn't able to get anything off it. Just absolutely schooled by MVP. I definitely am very, very interested in seeing some of his upcoming fights, but also Kevin Holland, I think we've seen it. I think we've seen his ceiling. Even though he's only 31, damn, he's young, man. But he has so many losses in the UFC. How many losses does he have in the UFC? Damn, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 losses in the UFC. He's not getting a belt. And he's running out of fun fights, so I don't know what we do with Kevin Holland next, but I know we have some fun fights from Michael Venom Page. And getting into the co-main event, the hypest moment, why I want them to keep coming to Miami, because my favorite fighters keep getting these beautiful second-round knockouts. Dustin Poirier knocks out Benoit Saint-Denis out cold in the second round. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all were on... Everyone was saying, oh, Dustin's finished against Benoit. Benoit, whose best win was against Matt Frevola, who 4 fights ago got the living life beat out of him by Zaleski dos Santos. The fight played out almost exactly how I said. I thought Dustin would take him to deep waters. But I gotta say, Dustin did not look good this fight. He looked tired. He looked slow and sluggish. But guess what? He's still an elite level striker, and even Dustin at 50% was able to freaking murder Benoit Saint-Denis at 100%. Benoit kept crashing in there. Like, he was getting the better of him in the grappling department, and Dustin kept going for the guillotines. Please, Brown. Please, Gamrot. Tell him to stop. Force him to stop with the gillies. He's never going to get someone. But it would have been so funny if he did get Benoit Saint-Denis with the guillotine, because, you know, the French, they love the guillotines. Whatever the case is, Benoit Saint Denis was landing more. He's landing more shots, and he was way better in the grappling aspect. It's just that Dustin Poirier was able to survive, and he was able to lure Benoit Saint Denis into a brawl. Dustin, even though he's slow and sluggish, he was still very defensively responsible, and he would counter back with some good shots. And eventually, that's what it took. Benoit Saint Denis came in a very sloppy crash. Dustin caught him, dropped him. He then went in for a takedown because, you know, if someone rocks you, you go for a freaking takedown when you're not all the way there. Easily defended takedown, and then he started throwing shots, and Dustin caught him. He was just a more intelligent and more competent striker, way more power, and he's just overall a more elite fighter than Benoit Saint Denis. Benoit Saint Denis is not elite. It's simple as that. Yeah, he has 100% finish rate, but again, he doesn't, like, he's not proven. And we need to stop disrespecting the old guard. Everyone's out here like, oh man, Gaethje's gonna get ran over by Fiziev, which I was on that board, but then I saw what Gaethje did. I'm like, wow, I forgot. So I said it this time, I'm not gonna forget again. I'm not gonna forget Dustin Poirier is elite. The old guard are still good. They're there for a reason. Dustin Poirier has some of the most wins in UFC for a freaking reason, and he knocked out Benoit Saint Denis. How's that for a surging prospect? Your surging prospect is dead in the fucking canvas. So you love to see it. You love to see it. Wow. Sean O'Malley with the best performance of his career. This fight went to... I didn't see a way for O'Malley to knock out Chito Vera, but I was like, man, O'Malley's probably going to gas out. Nope. Nope. That was a picture perfect performance. If you go to a decision, I want you to be like O'Malley. O'Malley threw 358 strikes, and he landed 232. He pieced up Chito Vera. Exactly like I said, Chito Vera had awful footwork, and he had awful defense. He just let his head get, kept his head on a center line, and Sugar, he just kept railing shots down the middle. Those two knees were amazing, and Chito Vera is just so durable. He still didn't get knocked down, but the thing is, Sean O'Malley fought that fight perfectly. He's such a competent striker. A lot of people hate on O'Malley because of the wife sharing, the purple hair, the pink shorts, all this. Well, even though I think the pink shorts are pretty legit, though, I gotta be square with you guys. Those pink shorts look dope. But regardless, the reason why I've always been a fan of Sean O'Malley and why he's so good, warrior mentality and competent striking. What does he do when he has Chito Vera hurt? Does he go rushing in there, blitzing in there like a Benoit Saint Denis? No, what he does is he keeps that distance, lands shot, keeps the pressures on, does not let Chito Vera recover. He just landed shot after shot, damaged him, hurt him badly. He just kept going and pouring on him, and just, it was picture perfect striking. Even when he was on the back foot, he didn't let Chito get ground. When Chito would start pushing him back and throwing shots and trying to get Sean O'Malley respect his power, O'Malley predicted where he would be, and he threw shots at him. It was just so good. Sean O'Malley is one of the best strikers, and he has warrior mentality, fighting to the last. Even though his coach said, coast, survive, 5 minutes and you win. He said, no, I want to knock him out. I want to defeat him. And he did everything in his power to defeat him, and he didn't want to coast. I love watching Sean O'Malley work. I don't know why there's some people who aren't fans of him. Like, just watch his fights. Just don't listen to him talk. Don't listen to his interviews. Don't give a shit about it. Watch him fight, because he's a great fighter, and I would love to see him beat the brakes off Merab against Ilya. I really like both guys. That would be such a fun fight. But I want to see him beat the brakes out of Merab, to be honest with you. I don't want to see Merab just spam 1,000 takedowns and get it. I would love to see O'Malley just floor him, which is a possibility. Merab has been caught. Regardless, Sean O'Malley retains his bantamweight title in one of the best performances we've seen in a bantamweight division. Probably better than Garbrandt versus Cruz. That's gotta be a better fight. That's gotta be a better performance. O'Malley was just picture perfect. But yes, that has been UFC 299. I thought it was a great card. Amazing. Definitely the best card we've had this year, as predicted. I think it probably could have been better in some aspects. Probably could have, but that was just so good. So many knockouts, so many highlights. And you just love to see old veterans like Dustin Poirier get the W over these younger surging prospects for no reason. And then you love to see Sean O'Malley just putting on a clinic and proving all his whatever haters wrong. So once again, this has been your boy Gomi. Bye bye.